Hello, welcome back. It is week 7. You've made it this far, well done. And tonight we are thinking about conversion, which is a word that nowadays can be a bit confusing and often have negative connotations. But really, it's about seeing people choosing to follow Jesus. It's as simple as that. And in Luke chapter 15, there's this story, the parable of the lost coin. And Jesus says this: suppose a woman has 10 silver coins and she loses one. Won't she light a lamp and sweep the entire house and search carefully until she finds it? And when she finds it, she'll call her friends and neighbours and say, "Rejoice with me because I found my lost coin." In the same way, there is joy in the presence of God's angels when even one sinner repents. This is what it boils down to, is that God loves you and me and our friends and our family so much that he wants to be in relationship with them and that he wants to give them life and life in all its fullness. How people come to know that looks different for every person. As we said at the beginning of these sessions, there is no one method or rhyme or reason. For some people, it happens in a moment. For others, it's a long, slow journey. For some, it involves lots of conversations and questioning and discussions. For others, they hear a talk at an event and it just clicks. For some people, it's attending something like an Alpha course. For some, it happens quickly, for others, slowly. For lots of people, it's a mixture of all of these things and more. But what is key is that for most people who choose to follow Jesus, not everyone, but most people, a friend or a family member or a person is involved in that journey, often at the point where they choose to say, actually, yes, Jesus, I now want to follow you. And so we want to be prepared to help people make that decision to decide for themselves to follow Jesus. It's not the role just of paid youth workers or church workers, it's for all of us. And so how can we do that? Well, I've got a hat here, which I've borrowed, which has the 4 points on it. Some of you might have heard of the 4 points. And really simply, there are 4 symbols to help you easily explain the gospel, the core of the Christian faith. Now, it doesn't mean that it's easy to have this conversation or explain it, but hopefully it's a simple way to remember it. There's a heart, an X, a cross, and a question mark. Now, the heart simply means and represents the fact that God loves each and every one of us so much. He made us, he loves us, he's got good plans for our lives. The X is that all of us, whoever we are, have turned away from God. We thought we could do it better. We've gone our own way. We've rejected him. The cross is that Jesus, in his life, in his death, and in his resurrection, has made a way that we can have relationship with God and have life to the full. And the question mark is, what are we going to do about it now? Will we choose to follow him? And that's how we can explain it to our friends. And then if they want to choose to follow Jesus, we don't have to worry about getting it all right, but we can simply help them and lead them in a prayer that just acknowledges that God is real. God, I believe that you are there. I'm sorry that I've turned away from you, and I choose to follow Jesus now. It's as simple as that. God, I recognize you're real. I'm sorry for turning away from you, and I choose to follow Jesus now. It's simple, but it's also really hard to do. But let's think about these things. Let's ponder these things so that if and when we have the opportunity, when one of our friends or family members may want to make that step of faith and of commitment, then we are equipped with the tools to help them do that.